Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Impact Wrestling. And I gotta say this to you guys. I'm saying the title right now. What's worth it? Guys, you guys tell me below. Does this feel like a repeat of months before? I'm sorry. This show feels like a repeat of months before. And I'm not talking about them taping. And this is just something from taping. This feels like the content they produce by their writers is a repeat of many months ago. I'm sorry. That's what this feels like. Now, of course, there are a couple of changes to what they produced. But this show 100% feels like a repeat, like they're on a holding pattern until Slammiversary. And this, I gotta say something at the end of this review if I don't forget. Because it's very important that I hope you will agree or disagree. Just leave it tell me what you guys think below. But let's go through this. Kojima, which he was supposed to go up against Eddie Edwards, because even though I did see most of the full show, I was still recovering from the vaccine, so I didn't really pay attention to a lot. Now, Kojima was asked by Eddie, I want to face you before you go back to New Japan. He says, fine. Morrissey takes him out. Completely. He wipes his ass out. And now you don't get that. What do you get? You get Brian Myers coming out with Sam. Then insulting Kojima. Then you got Jake something coming out to back up Kojima. Then you get a tag match which leads nowhere. Think about this for a minute, guys. Now, this isn't content from last week or last month. This is months ago. Not that it's a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy. But you guys tell me below. Doesn't this feel like what happened with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers when he was working with Eddie Edwards and when Brian Myers was working with Hernandez? Doesn't it feel like that? The only difference, there is a difference. Brian Myers is basically mentoring Sam. That is the major difference. But it does feel like a repeat. All we've been seeing is a repeat of tag teams thrown together. You guys tell me it means anything. And what does this mean for Kojima? Is this his last match finally? Is he gone now? Will he finally have that match with Eddie Edwards? I don't know. Maybe he will. But what did we get from Kojima coming to Impact Wrestling? What did we get? Did we get something important with Kojima in Impact Wrestling? No. No. We didn't get anything very important. Yes, it helped Violent by Design to a certain extent, but they didn't need Kojima to get themselves over. That's the truth. Now, sorry for the noise. We now have Tennille Dashwood versus Rachel Ellering. Why do we get this match again? What? I don't even remember if they faced each other singles, because this isn't about them. This is about Rachel dealing with Jordynne Grace, which is like what happened with Nevaeh and Havoc, where Nevaeh was feeling frustrated because she wasn't getting anywhere, because they kept losing, and Havoc didn't have a problem keeping her by her side, but Nevaeh was frustrated. So what did we get? Eventually we started getting matches that was between the Hood Rats. But now at this point, it is Tennille Dashwood who is instigating it instead of the Hood Rats. In the end, Rachel won a beatdown. Then who runs out? Who runs out to help a Rachel Ellering? Yes, Jazz is the different in the factor of this situation. She is the extra factor. But we've not seen Jazz do anything for months when it came to Jordynne or Rachel. So you can actually wipe her out unless she sticks after this week and goes beyond. I'm saying this clearly. If Jazz becomes their official manager from now on, I'll be happy with it. But if she's not there now, and she's not being by their side. This is like Hervea and Havoc. The only difference is supposedly Jordynne Grace has resigned. That's what people have said multiple times. Until after Slammiversary, I'll see it then. Because this is still about if she sticks after and when she does those recordings. Because remember, once they finish with Slammiversary and start recording again, and the question is going to be, is she still going to be there? And will she be a heel? Because what happened? She came in, she saved everybody, and she hugged a Rachel Ellering. Yes, she snapped her hand away instead of her shaking her hand, but she hugged her. What is going to happen after Slammiversary, which is in 17 days, I believe? Now, we got TJP, Fala, Willie, and Swan. This wasn't really much of a match. This was when Violence by Design decided to take out the two tag teams that was in their way. And wanted to just take them out. Flat out, no problem, no questions asked. They wanted to make sure that they are the dominant tag team there. That's fine. That's a different factor right now in Impact. I will say Violence by Design has been done very well by Eric Young. He has done it great. I've been enjoying it. It's been done properly. This is a guy who made sure his team, his Violence by Design, his design of true violence is working well. But here's one problem. You only had two teams. Next to XXXL or Reno Scum, which we haven't seen them in months, you only got TJ Perkins, Falaba, and Willie and Rick Swan. That's it. Until Triple XL comes back, or Reno Scum comes back, or anyone else that comes into Impact Wrestling, you have three teams. That's all you got. And admittedly, that's a little bit more than what WWE has, but does not mean it means enough. Now, since I did talk about the Hood Rats, they were complaining because it's been completely unfair that everyone else gets what they want and they don't. They earned their titles. Now, I will say this. Did they cheat to win? In some cases, yeah, they did. But did they defend those titles and bust their ass? Yes, they did. And I commend both Tasha as well as Kira. But they got no tag division. Look what happened with Susan and Kimberly. When they did the segment about Dana Purrazzo, what happened? They showed BTI before Impact. What? Kimberly finally gets her match against Dana Purrazzo on before Impact. What? And loses. You don't save this for a pay-per-view? It's only 17 freaking days. And now, Dana Purrazzo's already beaten Susan, and beaten Kimberly. And that little bit about trying to get Su Yung back? No, that's just a rehash of last year. They're trying to switch Susan back to Su Yung, which doesn't mean anything, even though Susan knows Susan. The reason I'm botching, I wanted Susie, Su Yung, Suzanne to do Susanna, a fourth version of Su Yung, where she would become a seductress, sexy, wearing sexy clothes, and trying to be like Dude Love of Mick Foley version. A Mick Foley version of a sexy female that could still go in the ring, or be incredibly funny or fun or seduce somebody. That's what I wanted. One more persona for Su Yung, but they don't look like they're going to go there. And do I care? We let Dana Purrazzo go through everyone except Rachel Ellering and Taylor Wilde. Where is Taylor Wilde? We haven't seen her. I don't know if she's still signed. She might be, but there might have been an issue where she couldn't be on the show. And then you got Rachel Ellering, who's tied up with Jordynne Grace, where she's not even going to be going after the title for a very long time as it stands. One, I don't think she's 100% ready for it. And two, she's working with Jordynne Grace where we don't know, one, if she's staying, which everyone says she is, but I don't know that. Not until after Slammiversary and the next tapings. And two, she's not ready. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they did that. That made no damn sense. Unless someone new's coming in the Slammiversary that is finally going to try and take that damn title away from Dana Purrazzo, it made no sense to let Kimberly job on the kickoff show. I'm just saying. PD versus Chris Bey. This was not about anything else but Chris Bey making a decision. Whose side is he on? They had several interviews. Chris had his interview. Then you got Raju's. Well, all the bad guys went on his interview saying thank you for not joining because we're going to whip everybody's ass. Just stay in your lane. Then they got the match between him and Petey Williams, who I still say Petey Williams should become Maple Leaf Muscle. He needs to be Maple Leaf Muscle. They need a character that is established, even if it's an old one, and was funny as hell and vicious when it needed to be. No. We get regular Petey Williams. In the end, it was thrown out. Well, not really thrown out. It really doesn't matter. Even though Chris Bey won, everybody and the mother came out. And Chris Bey walks away, and he should have just walked away and waited until Ultimate X at the pay-per-view and not let anyone know his intentions. He should have not shown his intentions. They're only 17 days away from Slammiversary. Why let him show that he'll be a face? Why? There was no point in it. Because Ultimate X, when it comes down to it, yes, you're going to have bad guys on one side, good guys on the other. It would have been more compelling to see Chris Bey not go there. They should let him wait until the pay-per-view and then show what side he was on. And that would have made it better for the fans. This is bullshit. Was this worth it? No. Next. Maclin versus a very, very destroyed, I forgot the guy's name, first name of Smith. That is so generic. He was decimated. He looked great. Maclin destroyed Smith. Just like he did last week. He destroyed the guy then. He destroyed this guy now. Annihilating. He refused to sell. He just destroyed him. He was vicious and destructive. That's good. A war veteran who looked like he has shell shock and will destroy you when he gets really upset. I'm cool with that. Let's hope they stick with it. I don't know if they will, but that's my thought. Finally, 6-man tag, which I don't know why they went there. I don't know why they went to the 6-man tag. Was this worth it? No. I would have liked to see something entirely different from Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Why another 6-man tag? Yes, it's good to see they're doing tag. It's good to see they're doing tag team wrestling. Impact Wrestling was lacking a lot of it. Particularly, they don't have any more teams. Look, right now the Good Brothers is the only other team next to Fallah Bahh, TJ, as well when it comes to... You got those 3 teams. FinJuice is not there. Don't show Reno Scum. You don't show Triple XL. Who do you got? You got 4 teams? Yes, with the Good Brothers. But they're busy in AEW all the time. Yes, they're going back and forth, but they're busy there. So it's not the same if they were there all the time. So I don't count them as a team constantly in Impact Wrestling. Doesn't mean I don't like them. It's just that they're split between 2 promotions. And they're trying to get things over there. So, what do you get? It was not a bad match, but what does it really give? Look, I know Sabin hates Moose. Moose hates Sabin. You got pretty much Tommy wanted to keep everything together, and it didn't happen. And where Where does Sammy fit in? Now, mind you, he looked the best out of everyone, and that's building into his match at Slammiversary. But did he need to be there? Where does he fit in? Did he need to go after them and whoop their ass? No. Elite won. The Elite won. Sabin ate the pin. But the point is, did it really help Sammy? I don't think it did. I don't think this helped Sammy Callahan. I just don't see it. It would have been better if he had singles matches on his own and dealt with Moose. Because when it came down to it, Moose is disgruntled as much as Sammy. And I think that would have been better to see than a 6-man tag. Yes, you see Moose still doing some matches, and you still got that match with him and Sabin. But Sammy needed to be built up to deal with Kenny Omega. And this, I don't believe, helped him. Instead of going through the roster, getting through all this, and even Trey saying, you and I don't agree. But I do agree you are a damn draw, and you better kick Kenny Omega's ass. I would have liked to see that. And hopefully it will go there before the Slammiversary happens. But I just don't agree with this. It was not worth this show the way it was. This show was not structured properly. I don't agree with anything here. There were a couple of good things, but could have been saved for the pay-per-view. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.